Namaste. Welcome to your own channel, Saptarisi Astro Sutra. Today's guest, I can say not guest, but one of my mentor who has shown me the path and the way. We are delighted to ask him to enlighten us and guide us in the journey of astrology and also spirituality. And the main thing is he is not just an astrologer, but also a Bhakti Yoga. We will explore his life journey, the wisdom through his written books and software also, and how he fused Jyotish with spirituality and touching thousands of lives worldwide. So, let me introduce none other than Sri Das Goravani ji. We welcome you, sir, to the channel, and the stage will be all yours. I just want to know, sir, initially, how being a Western, you have actually managed to be an astrologer and get into the Bhakti Marga itself, write those books, and also the Jyotish software. So please enlighten us with the journey and also guide us through the same.
So you want to hear how I joined Bhakti and also Jyotish?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, the first thing that happened when I was 12 years old, my brother brought home a Bhagavad Gita that he got from the Hare Krishna devotees at the airport. They were distributing the books, and he threw it in the garbage. He thought it was garbage, but I saw it, and when I saw the cover, it had Krishna and Arjuna on it. This is the first time I ever saw Krishna. I was 12, and I trembled. I shook because I saw Krishna. My whole body shook and trembled, and I knew right away that is my God. I knew Krishna is my God. So I took that Bhagavad Gita and I hid it so my family would not throw it away. And then later, when I was 19, Krishna tricked me to go to the temple. I wanted to buy a reel to reel tape recorder. I was a musician, and I found one in the newspaper, and the ad said the name was Murari. And it
My
gave the
goodness.
ad, it gave the
Wow.
address. So we drove to the address where the tape recorder was, and it was the temple. It was the Berkeley Hare Krishna temple. Who was selling it was a brahmachari. So I met with him and I bought the tape recorder. But before I could leave, they said, "You have to have lunch with us." So they gave me prasadam. And while I was eating the prasadam, two devotees talked to me and asked me all kinds of questions. And they told me some things, but they got my phone number. Later, they called me and came over to our house and sold me many books. I wanted them. The covers look so fantastic on Srila Prabhupada's books. He has pictures of Nrsingadev and Krishna and Ram and all kinds of deities on the book covers, and they look so fantastic. I loved them. So I bought a bunch, and then some time passed. I didn't read them right away. I just put them on my wall as posters because I liked the covers. So I was seeing Krishna and Nrsinga and Ram, etc., every day. Finally, I read one of them. And when I did, I immediately knew I wanted to join. So I went to the temple and stayed overnight and went to Mangal Artik and all the pujas. And basically, I joined right away. And this was 1979. I became a devotee at 19 years old. And the guru really liked me, so he made me his personal servant and took me around the world right away. We went to 27 countries, mainly India, but we went to temples in 27 countries. And I learned so much. I was learning tons from so many devotees. Eventually, I got married and had kids. And when 1993 rolled around, one day I was in my living room and I noticed a book on my bookshelf that I had never looked at, and it was on Vedic astrology. I took it down, I looked at it, and I was a computer programmer making good money selling newspaper advertising software that I wrote. So that was going on. I was a grihasta, and I took the book down, I looked at it, and I started reading it, and I realized this can be programmed. This science that I'm reading, it can be programmed. So I thought, wow, now this is related to Krishna and it can be programmed. And if I program it, I'll have a career related to Krishna that I can do at home. I don't have to go out and associate with karmis. So I took it to my room and I started programming it. First, I called a friend who was an astrologer and I asked him, are there many programs out? And he said, no, there's hardly none. There's only one, and it's really basic. It doesn't hardly do anything. And so I thought, okay, good. There's an open market. So if I do this, people might be interested. So I did it. And I even, not only did I program Jyotish, but I bought a lot of books of readings, books of Jyotish interpretations by sages and various authors. And I cut the binding off these books and I scanned them on a scanner. And then I taught my computer how to read those text files. And me and my family tagged every reading, what it's for. Like we would put gem in 1, moon in 2, or we had these tags I made up. I made up this tagging system and we tagged every reading so that the program could pull up the right readings for a chart. So right away, my program had readings, and that other one that was out didn't have readings. I was the first program out that was complete, was on Macintosh and Windows, and had readings. So when I advertised, so many people bought the software because there was nothing out. Soon other programs came out, a few competitors, but I was first, and that gave me a leg up, as we say. So then it just spread, and now up to the present day, it hardly sells anymore now. Now there's free programs and so many programs, and Chat GBT does Jyotish. So it's a different age now. So that's the story.
Yes, sir, but ChatGPT hardly gives any right predictions
Uh,
because there is, you can have thousands of books, but when you get to learn from a guru, you get the blessing of Guru Tattva. First, that is what my belief is. Then, second, is that the same the same planetary motion will be giving one result to a one person and the other result to the other person,
yeah,
depending on what activation they have done. So how could a chat GPT can ever know that I am going to gym, so I have controlled my mass, be it its most malefic sitting with Rahu? And how could they know a person having the same combination of Mars and Rahu is drinking and not going to the gym? So how they cannot interpret the same way until and unless a good astrologer, a renowned, you can say, a person who's having the knowledge as well as practice. And also, I believe astrologers should also learn from the setbacks they have, because it's not every time the prediction is 100% right. So we should learn from it and grow from it, which I rarely think a computerized program can do than human. So here we do have the upper hand, and we will always have the upper hand. So moving
yes.
forward, how did your connection to Sri Prabhupada influence your understanding to destiny and karma? And how can you, just in a simple, common, layman term, because here your podcast will not only be watched by the astrologer, but I am definitely 100% sure many of the Krishna Bhakt and also people from ISKCON will be watching your podcast because it's the first time, I guess, in many of the channel or in my channel, it's definitely the first time an astrologer and a Bhakt both are in a single person and giving me the interview. Yes, sir, please.
Well, Srila Prabhupada's books are what made me a devotee, but I missed him by 2 years. He left the planet in 77. I joined in 79. So I only had his books and his devotees to follow. And I did. But eventually I was introduced to Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Prabhupada's godbrother, in Navadvip Dham, West Bengal, Bangladesh, Bangla,
Yes,
Bengal.
yes.
So I went there in 1980 and met him. And then I went 4 times in various years following. So Srila Sridhar Maharaj became my Diksha Guru. And he's the one who influenced me the most in a certain way because he emphasized that your karma can change if you're a bhakta. At first, I did not believe this. I thought, Jyotish, your chart was all powerful and ran your whole life no matter what, even whether you'll be liberated. I was convinced that the universe is mechanical and we're plugged in and we have a chart and we cannot escape, and it will roll forward and everything's in the chart. Whether astrologers can't read it that well, we're not that good. We're okay, but we're not that good.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Yeah, so everything's in there, but only Narada Muni could read it, perhaps, or Lord Brahma. So then I saw great souls charts like Srila Prabhupada's chart and Sri Chaitanya's chart, and they're so good that I was attracted. I loved them. And I thought, now in their charts, you can see they'll be liberated. And but their charts are so fantastic. You can't compare anybody to them. Us regular people don't have such fantastic charts. Like at Prabhupada's birth, they predicted he would open 108 temples, and he did when he was 70. They
Wow.
predicted that. When I so I was going along thinking the chart is fixed, you cannot escape. But then my Guru Maharaj said, you can, charts can change. If you do Krishna Bhakti, Krishna gets involved in your life. And he has said in Bhagavad Gita that he brings to his devotees what they lack. And he says that Sarva Dharma Parichaja Mamikam Sarnam Vraja Hang Tung Sarva Papebhyo Mokshai Shami Masucha, that I will protect you from sinful reactions. And bad periods are sinful reactions from our past. But so he says, I will protect you. So Krishna gets involved in a devotee's life, especially when a devotee advances to different stages like ruchi and nishta. Krishna gets involved in their life. You actually see that he starts to make little arrangements. Like I pray to Krishna every day, of course, every day. And sometimes I really ask for things, whether that's good or not. But what I ask for is service. I ask him to make my life better for more service to him, make my life better for more bhakti to him. I sincerely ask him, and I see that he makes arrangements. It's amazing. The next day, things happen that never happen, and it is something where he's bringing me forward. So he's involved in my life, and like I have a worry when I get older, how will I live? Because I don't have a lot of money saved. I may run out of money and I won't be able to afford life. So I can have this worry, but I should just trust Krishna and try to endeavor in the right ways in my duties and trust, chant and be happy, japa and be happy. So that's what I should do. And then he gets involved in your life and he changes your karma, possibly, not guaranteed, but possibly. So my Guru Maharaj stressed that we should not get discouraged over a chart. And even he would say, don't even look at it. Don't even get into your chart if you're a serious bhakta, because we're just interested in serving Krishna and trusting Krishna and accepting whatever happens to us as his mercy, as his rough embrace. If it's hard, it's his rough embrace. He's just embracing you in a rough way, like disease or poverty or some bad event. It's Krishna's rough embrace, and you should go on being a bhakta anyway. So that's how my guru changed my view. He made me see that Krishna gets involved. Prior to realizing that, I got depressed over Jyotish because most people have bad charts. Most people's charts are difficult, and I was I couldn't read them for them. I couldn't read their charts because I only saw bad things. Sometimes they have some good placements, but I didn't read charts really. I only read a few. When people bought my software, I would read their chart a little bit on the phone. They're buying the software and they say, "Can you look at my chart?" So I would say, "Sure," and I would look at their chart and I would say some things. So I got a little practice, but I never was a practicing astrologer. I was always just a programmer. I programmed and programmed and programmed for 30 plus years. And I was never a chart reading Jyotishi, but I did read a few. And so I know the basics. I can look at a chart and get an idea of what's going on. So
Correct, sir.
that's it. That's how I got influenced by my guru, was that Krishna gets involved in his devotees' lives. So the thing to do is to chant japa, be a devotee of Krishna, read Krishna's books, scriptures, and try to make advancement. And if possible, find a real guru and take initiation and get involved with other devotees, if possible, at temple, if there is one in your city. And if not, go to a city where there is one.
Correct.
so so that's it.
Now, sir, the beautiful thing that you have said, karma is fixed according to our chart. But definitely, there is three type of karma, sanchit and prarabdha and everything. But here, the beautifully you said we can change karma, we can change the prarabdha. How? By chanting. By when you said like I asked Krishna, that shows the tie between you and Lord Krishna. Same way, I am also Hanuman Bhakt, and the things that you can say, I can actually relate to it. How things has unfolded in right now in within a year is actually I just go down and I have problem. I go down and sit and talk to him face to face. You have given the problem. It's your job to give the solution. I don't know how I'm getting out. And within hours, either someone comes up or I get in interaction with the people and they said, oh, that's not a problem. Just meet me tomorrow. And on the personal level, I will definitely share you few of the events that has actually happened in past 3 months. And definitely it will be a goosebump for you, sir. And so the name Japa and Narad Muni, the way you said, in Narad Puran, Narad Muni has said it. It's written in Narad Puran, Pratham Pada, that the in Kali Yuga you can attain moksha, or you can even like in Satyug you have to do thousands of year kathor tap and Hatha Yoga and everything. But in Kali Yuga it's very easy. All you have to do, you have to trust and you have to chant the name. Be it Krishna, be it Ram, be it Sadasev. Because ultimately there is a power. We and there is also one thing I want to share because I go to Vrindavan regularly and also Jagannath Puri because these are all the form of Vishnu. Now, be it any religion you are, if you are a devotee, you will find the true events. And I have many of the events documented with myself where God has stepped in at the very precious time and changed the entire life. So that's very great, sir. Moving on to the next question. You have also written certain books on astrology, sir. And the main few of the books are so incredible. And it's like you have taken the thousand of things and put it into one. We can also say bhog khichdi because khichdi is something we make lentil and everything. And I have read those. They are amazing. So, what has actually initiated you to write those book in Jyotish? And also, how you can guide the new coming astrologers who are taking actually shortcuts and not even reading a single books. They just want 2 or 3 hour webinar and a certificate and they call themselves Jyotish. Like when you said, I am not a Jyotish, I'm not a reader, I'm just a programmer. You have far higher level of knowledge building the program and build and reading so many of Jyotish books. But people right now nowadays are arrogant just by taking few webinars and few courses that too online and not even reading the books. So, sir, please guide us with the same.
Ah, well, I am made to write. For some reason in my karma, I am an author. I love to write. I write on Facebook every day, and I have for many, many years. My book, Goravani Jyotish Complete, I named it that because many people knew my software called Goravani Jyotish. So I thought I would just name the book Goravani Jyotish Complete. But what it really is a kitchery. Yes, it is a kitchery of many writings that I made on Facebook. I kept them and I compiled them into a book and put it on Amazon, and people buy it. But many of the writings are on Jyotish. I tried to give Jyotish in the book, but many of the writings in the book are spiritual. And so the book is a kitchery of spirituality and Jyotish. And as far as people taking a few webinars and calling themselves a Jyotish, that's ridiculous. That's utterly ridiculous. One has to spend some time before they're practicing Jyotish. They have to spend some time reading many books. And if possible, have a teacher. This is supposed to be received in Guru Parampara. Parashara states that in his Brihat Parashara Shastra that Brahma taught it originally. It came down from Brahma, which makes sense because Brahma created the planets under Vishnu's guidance and under the Gayatri mantra, which came from Krishna's flute.
Yes, sir.
So originally, really, this universe comes from Krishna's flute. It's one of Krishna's desires, and Brahma heard the flute and knew how he heard the flute. It gave him the Gayatri, and then he knew how to create the universe. It
Wow.
has levels: Om Bur, Bhuva, Sva, and then Tat Savitur. So should be received in Guru Parampara. Now, the Parampara is broken, but at least have a teacher who is good so they can tell you the things that aren't said in books. Like even what you said about how Rahu and Mars together might do this with one person, but in another person, it does something else, even if it's in the same sign and house. Like I have the same chart as Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer was a person that murdered people and ate them.
Wow.
he was terrible. He was a terrible American mass murderer case. And he actually ate his victims. And he has the same chart as myself, only rotated different lugna, but he has these good planets. But he was such a bad person. So you cannot read after just a couple webinars. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Yeah.
Great, sir.
Um,
Yes, sir. That's a great actually. And sir, there is a question after hearing you so a lot. How have you balanced actually Jyotish and Bhakti together? Because uh, one is predictive and one is totally like you know how you can get the things, and you just leave it on the your Ishta Devata or a Devata that you are worshipping on. So how have you balanced this both in your life?
well, I wrote something on this, which I'm going to read because I thought about it and wrote this. For a very long time, I did not balance these two. I left bhakti aside and focused on Jyotish. This caused me to become a little unsattvic. I fell down a little bit from my spiritual principles in like 1995. I went on with Jyotish and continued to say that everything is in your chart, including whether you'll be liberated. So I was a little bit miserable. And because most people do not have good charts. So people in their charts bothered me always. I avoided reading people's charts for this reason. I could not see goodness in most of them. I was miserable during this long period of time. Then came a time when I reread our Shastras, Bhakti Shastras, and I realized that people can do something about their situation, and that is to surrender to Krishna. So my bhakti came back full force and sattvic lifestyle. And then I was able to tell people that what I've told you already, that Krishna bhakti can change things. So now I balance that way. Krishna bhakti is the supreme thing that everyone should be doing. Or as you do, Hanuman and Ram bhakti. That's the same thing. Ram and
Yes, sir.
Ram is also an incarnation of Krishna,
Vishnu.
Vishnu. He's
Yeah.
Vishnu avatar. He has his own planet in the spiritual world where you can
Yes.
go. I had a vision once of Hanuman. He took me to Vaikuntha, and
Wow.
it was quite a vision. It was amazing. He was this close to me. I could see his fur. I could see the corner of his eye where it's red. He was right next to me, a man monkey. It was unbelievable vision. Took me over. My eyes were open, but I couldn't see my room. All I could see was the vision. So it's the most mystical, amazing vision I've ever had. And it was Hanuman, and he took me to a Vaikuntha planet. And after that, I used to tell devotees that I'm an Ayodhya Vanavasi. I am an Ayodhya Vanavasi. I'm a I'm a resident of the forest outside Ayodhya. I am a monkey.
Wow. Actually, the things you are telling, I can relate it because whenever there is also saying in a Shastra, when you take the name of Ram or Krishna, there is always Hanuman coming to guide you. Because without Hanuman, there is also a song, I will share it for you. Without Hanuman, you cannot meet Vishnu or Krishna or Ram because he is the source of path to go to that particular place. When there is a story, Yamraj came to take Lord Rama, but he could not enter the premises of Ayodhya. Then Yamraj came into the dream of Lord Rama and asked, like, you please ask Hanuman to go away, or else I will not be able to enter Ayodhya and take your life like that. So there is a story like Ramji just pull out his ring and it fell down in the crack and asked Hanuman to get it from the Patal Lok. And when Hanuman got to Patal Lok, there are thousands and thousands of rings, same rings there. And at that particular time, Hanuman come to know that in each cycle, a Ram is born and Hanuman has to be moved, or else Yamraj or Yamadut cannot enter the place where Hanuman is. That is what, because he is the protector of Krishna. In Mahabharata also, you know that when there is a fight, Hanuman was sitting on the dhwaja of Arjun. And when Karn arrow started touching or hurting Krishna, there was a roar of Hanuman. With the roar, entire thing happened like they will die just by the roar. So Lord Krishna says, Hanuman, please calm down. It's not Treta Yuga. Just by your view, they will be dead. So please calm down and let the fight go on. These are many things of Hanuman ji, which is given in Mahabharata, like how he has taught Bhim and how Lord Hanuman was sitting on the entire Rath. That's why the Rath was not burnt by the sort of arrow of Karn, which himself Krishna says to Arjun in mid of the war of Mahabharata. So moving forward, sir, how is this humility in you? Because I have met many astrologers and I have not seen an astrologer as humble as you, and few more who are actually very humble and has also guided me in astrology, but very rare. These you say na, the breeds are actually extinct. The humbleness and the depth and also the gyan you have. How can you manage this in your life?
Uh, Lord Chaitanya said, Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahisnuna amanina manadena kirtanya sadahari. One should be more humble than the straw in the street, devoid of all sense of false prestige, ahankara, ready to offer all respects to others. In such a humble state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. So, Lord Chaitanya has directed his devotees, which I am one of, to be humble and to be tolerant and to offer all respects to others. So he's told us to do that. So that's been since 1979. I've heard this verse. So I don't know how. I think one reason I'm humble, if I am humble, the reason is because I have suffered. In the middle period of my life, I went through Saturn Dasha and Mercury Dasha. Saturn Dasha rules my 10th and Saturn rules my 10th and 11th houses. The 11th house is desires. So my Shani rules desires. And he's in the ninth with my guru, with Jupiter. And he brought Jupiter down in Saturn Dasha. He lowered Jupiter's effect on me and he gave me more desires. So I chased women. I had a lot of illicit sex. I smoked marijuana, but I went on with Bhakti and Jyotish. Jyotish for sure, Bhakti to some degree, but I suffered. And then when I got older and could no longer chase women, I was in Mercury Dasha, and my Mercury is very combust. And I I had some mental trouble because I was aging and I couldn't face it. I was so used to being young and capable and doing so many things easily. When age started to hit, I didn't know how to handle it, frankly. And it drove me a little bit to craziness. I became mentally disturbed for a while in Mercury Dasha. Fortunately, this ended. This finally ended in Ketu Dasha and before perhaps too, but in Ketu Dasha, the mental disturbance is not here. So I have suffered. And so I'm humble because I realize Krishna can take everything away from us in an instant. You can lose everything in a second. You can get an aneurysm and die, or get brain damage and become a person who cannot speak, who has to be in a wheelchair. This can happen at any moment. We don't know if we have aneurysms or not in our head. We don't know. So I am very aware that I do not control anything, that I'm not solid, I'm soft. We're very soft. We can be crushed in a car accident, and we all drive cars. Everybody drives everywhere all the time. So, plus nuclear bombs, Putin can go crazy and throw nuclear bombs around, or Trump. So, this world is really precarious. From the highest planet down to the lowest, from Brahmalok to Patala, all are places of suffering wherein repeated birth and death take place. Mrityu Loka is what this is. So we should be humble. Plus, humility is the way to attract the devatas, to attract Krishna, or to attract Hanuman. Humility makes them love you more. If you're proud, they think you're stupid and they stay away. They let you have your pride and they let you go on with your karma kanda, and you can suffer and enjoy in the material realm. The material nature will take care of you. I don't need to take care of you, they think, because you don't want me. You want yourself. So if you're humble and you cry out sincerely to your Ishta Devata, then they get very attracted to you and they want to help. And then they change things if they want to, or they provide help, which is amazing. Mystical things happen to you. You see them, you know it's your Ishta Devata's effect, action. And it is so amazing. It is so enlivening. Lately, I've been praying for more service. And today at the temple, the guru turned to me and just out of the blue, he says, "Why don't you join my band?" Because I'm a professional guitarist, actually, but I don't play these days. I haven't played in a while. I have no reason to play. I would not play just to play guitar. I would only play if I could play for Krishna. So he asked me, "Why don't you join our band?" And his band plays at the temple during the kirtans. He actually likes to have musical instruments in the kirtans, not just kol and kartal. So he plays rhythm guitar. He wants me to play lead guitar, and he has a bass player. So I said I would do it. I mean, right away, Krishna provided more service. I knew it was Krishna because the guru wasn't even looking at me. He was talking to people this way, and I'm over there. And suddenly he just turns to me and goes, "Thank you for coming to the temple every day." And then a devotee said, "Yes, and Raghunandan is a musician." And I said, "I play guitar." And he goes, "Really? Well, why don't you play with us?" So it just happened. So I know it's the Lord's intervention. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The name Raghunandan, the name Raghu itself is the name of Lord Ram.
Yeah,
Raghunandan Das
Raghunandan.
is your spiritual name. This is,
Yes.
you have said me in the introduction when we used to, when I get messages from you that you said my spiritual name is Raghunandan Das. That particular name, and one thing, sir, when you said the Saturn, I'm just trying to make a connection. The Saturn is your 10th lord and 11th lord. 11th house is also house of desire. Plus, it is also, and Saturn is sitting in the ninth. So, if you see the Bhavat Bhavan, Saturn is 11th from 11.
Yes.
So, it increased the desire.
Yes.
And since Saturn is also not very good at ninth house because it's house of Guru, you said the Guru Tattva decreased that time. So this is amazing how you have connected the astrology and 11th house. I am also telling it's one of the house of Trishadaya. In the Trishadaya house is one of the Trishadaya house, and it is most powerful Trishadaya house. So whenever people grow through 11th the house Mahadasa, there is also a transformation. You will get the money because your desire will be active, but initially at the end of that dasa, you, whatever planet it is, I have seen people changing their path after that Mahadasa has ended. So, sir, that was a very good one. How you said about the astrology and how you have transformed. Moving forward to our another question: in what way did you see Jyotish as a tool of spiritual awakening rather than materialistic outcome? Because you have seen your chart, you have seen Sri Prabhupada chart, and many more spiritual charts also. So, how can a people know that they can be awake spiritually by using astrology or anything of that sort, sir?
The main thing is that when we look at a chart, we see it is a karmic map from past life, really. It's made by the past life, it's there at your birth. So it's a summary of where you've been. So, first of all, it's a spiritual thing, a chart, because this is a way we actually see the result of our past lives. So, first of all, it is showing you that you have past lives. Here in the West, people don't believe they have reincarnation. People don't believe in past lives or future lives. Christianity teaches this is your only life. They say in the West, in TV commercials, even, they'll say, you only have one life to live. You got to go for it and enjoy. That is Western life. That is Western conception. I have one life and I'm going to enjoy. So that is what drives the West. So that is what we're preaching to. When we go out and preach, we're preaching to that. And so we say reincarnation, people go, oh, Buddhism. They think it's Buddhist. But so we have a lot to fight against. So the first thing, a chart is a challenge because it is saying you have past lives. That's the premise. Otherwise, it's just a random thing. No, it's from past lives. And then that tells you you'll have future lives. That implies you'll have future lives, which brings up a point. Do you want to have future lives in this world? Do you really want to have future lives in this world where there is death and suffering, frustration, disease, poverty, murder, war? Do you want to come back to this? Like if we come back after these lives we have right now, global warming will be so bad when we are babies, when we are growing up. It will be over 100 degrees every day. It will be unlivable in some places. This world is going to become bad in the near future. By 2050, it's going to be very bad because people like Trump and the Republicans who support him in America, who run America right now, they do not believe in climate change. They do not believe in global warming, even though it is obviously happening. So they took away the efforts to reduce carbon emissions. They took those efforts away. They're bringing back coal. They are putting away electric vehicles, not promoting them. They're putting them down. So these people are absolutely crazy. They're asuras. So Kali Yuga is progressing rapidly. Do you want to come back to that? Rather, take to the path that claims to come from God. Our scriptures, our Vedic literatures claim to come from Brahma. No other religion is like this. Other religions come from one prophet who came to some land and was amazing. and one book was written about him. That's all. We have vast literature,
Yes.
vast Vedic literature, and it comes from the creator, not just one prophet. And it comes down through parampara, through mystic sages who are capable of having visions, who are themselves incarnations of God. And Krishna says, I am the compiler of the Vedas. That means he is Veda Vyas. Veda Vyas is a Shaktivesh avatar of God. And so we have amazing literature that comes from the beginning, comes through parampara, and actually delivers a clear vision of heaven. They call it heaven in the West. They have no idea what it is. No idea. Everyone has a different idea of what heaven is because they're just speculating. There is no writing that tells you what heaven looks like, who lives there. They just think there's an old man named God on a throne, and everybody just stands there with wings. Everybody is an angel, has wings, and they just stand there. Maybe they pray or maybe they sing, but that's all. It's kind of like it's a little bit like a Vaikuntha vision where Vishnu is on a throne and everyone is worshiping him. It's a bit like that, but they don't have a vision of what God looks like. We actually have a vision of what God looks like, what great devotees look like, what demigods and gods look like. I mean, we know what Shiva looks like. We don't have any doubt. We don't have any doubt about what Krishna looks like. And we know what is Goloka Vrindavan and what is Vaikuntha. We know how the spiritual world is made and how the material world is made. This is the greatest religion on earth. So the earth is sinking in Kali Yuga. It's a place of birth and death. If you want to get off of this sinking boat, you grab the best life raft you can find. You don't grab a little piece of wood, you grab a big piece of wood. So if one wants religion, religio, it means again connection with God. So it's
Yes.
like yoga, connect with God, yoga, link up. So if you want the best religion, go for the Vedic religion. That's why I'm a devotee through India's religion, is because it's the best on earth. India is the best country on earth. It is the richest country on earth. Everything is amazing there. No other country compares. Even just saris, even just the women's fancy saris is more beautiful than the dress in any other country. Musical instruments,
Thank you.
food, scripture, the people's character, the people are good. Most people in India are good because they have Dharma. It is just, plus it's big, it's got a big population, it's a big country, it's very interesting. There's many ancient buildings. It's just fantastic. There's many languages. It is just simply fantastic. There's no question about it. And I wish India all the best always. And I may spend my late life there because I am more comfortable with Indians and Indian things than I am with Western. I am misplaced in a white body. I definitely was in India in my last life because I recognized Krishna right away. I know I was Krishna Bhakta in India in my last life. And I did pretty good. So I got a pretty good chart in this life for Dharma, a good chart for Dharma, Jupiter in the ninth in his own sign. That is really good for meeting Gurudev and for reading Shastra and devoting. So I am more comfortable with India. I'm going back there late in life. I don't know when, but I will. And I am misplaced in this white body. I took birth in this white body to help the Sri Krishna Sankirtan movement in the West, of Lord Chaitanya's mission to spread his name around the world. So he scattered devotees around the world so they would join the temples and help the movement and maybe even lead, maybe even teach. So that's why I took birth here. Otherwise, I'm misplaced. I've always felt misplaced in my family. I've always felt out of place. I don't know if
Sir,
I answered the question.
yes, you have actually answered. And I will also let people know if somebody thinks you don't have a past life. There is a book called Karam Vipak Samhita, in which Lord Shiva himself says what are the sins you have done in your past life and how it is written in which pada. Like we have 27 nakshatra and 108 pada. So if you are born in Aswin first pada, you have done some sins. And in that, it's clearly mentioned what are the sins you have done. And after the death, how many days you have been in hell, how many days you have been in heaven, and which all embodied you have taken, be it jackal, be it insects. And then again, you are born back as human to get your karma straight. There is a book named Karambe Park Samhita in which past life is mentioned. And if somebody says, how can you give the authentication of book? Leave it aside. American Association, UK, and each of the World Association has come to India in 1947-49 approx, where there was a rebirth in Mathura. It is the link to Mathura and Delhi only. Fine, a girl was reborn, which she says, I am a wife of so and the people lives in Mathura. It is well documented entire world. People told them that they are wrong, they are fake, but whatever she says, everything has come to the point, correct. And I'm also actually on the side by side trying to find the exact date of birth of that girl because it's documented. So I will be seeing his past life through D60 and various other format, and I will definitely put it up in my website. Moving forward, sir. Yes, sir. Please, you are good.
There was a girl in England born. She was Indian, and when she grew up to about 11 years old, one day she went to the Hare Krishna temple and she walked up to a devotee and said, I was, and she named a devotee who died
My
about
God.
11
Yeah.
years ago. She said, I was so and so Das, and I was with you in a van. And one day I said this to you. And then she said it. And yes, indeed, that devotee who died prior, 12 years prior, he did say this to him in the van one day. And then she went on and said other things. She had clear memory of her past life as a man devotee who died serving. And it was just out of the blue and amazing. And so clear past life memory she had. So I have no doubt that we take rebirth. I have no doubt. I mean, there's so many instances of things that come up that show this. Plus, just the fact that I am one of 10, 11 kids. There's 11 kids in my family, and every one of them is totally different. Why, from the same parents, just 1 year apart, coming 11 children? Why they're so different? Why, when I was 9 years old, I wanted to be a priest. I knew I wanted to be a priest. Why did I get that idea and my brothers did not get that idea?
Definitely.
So reincarnation explains everything on earth. It's just obviously true. And I want to say one other thing, just this is different subject, but Jyotishis should be devoted. They should be bhaktas of Vishnu or Ram or Krishna. And you've said this, and I'm saying it too. If not, how can they deliver their clients from birth and death? A Jyotish should be able to deliver his clients from birth and death. He should be like a guru. A Jyotish is like a guru. People listen to them. People take them very seriously. They should be able to deliver the truth. The truth is Shastra. The truth is Japa. They should be able to make their clients into bhaktas. They should at least recommend it to them. That is That is why I'm wearing my japa beads. These are my
Yes,
japa, and I'm wearing them
definitely.
because japa is so important. Krishna says of sacrifices, I am japa. And
Right.
then Lord Chaitanya recommended Hare Krishna japa. He danced with the dead body of Haridas Thakur, who chanted all day long japa. They call him the Namacharya. Even though he was a Muslim, Lord Chaitanya, who is a Brahmin, grabbed his dead body and danced with it to show that he loved this devotee so much, the Namacharya. Lord Chaitanya came to deliver Nam as Kirtan, Bhajan, and Japa. So it is the Yuga Dharma, the Yuga Dharma. So astrologers should be recommending it. If an astrologer just reads karma in some bogus way from a few webinars, charges money, and then mentions nothing about spiritual life, that is completely bogus. That is completely not Vedic, not parampara. It's adharmic. So astrologers should be bhaktas. They should be practicing bhaktas, and then they can deliver people from birth and death. Otherwise, you shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't hold this high position of telling people their karma. It's a very high position. You should not hold that position unless you are a bhakta of some form of Vishnu.
Definitely.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, sir.
Oh,
The
I also want
session.
to say one more
Yes,
thing.
sir.
My guru had Hanuman on his personal altar. He had a picture of his guru, he has a picture of Krishna, and he has a picture of Hanuman. And he told us that the reason is Hanuman protects the devotees and helps them in so many ways. So, yes, Hanuman ji is a part of our faith. In the
Oh,
in the Gaudiya Mat, in Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, and ISKCON.
great, sir. Sir, I'm actually amazed. Actually, I'm having goosebumps after listening to you and the devotion. Actually, I know whichever people will hear, be it astrologer, be it a normal person, be it a bhakt of Vishnu, Lord Sri Krishna, they will feel this goosebump. The words actually is not coming out of your mouth, it's coming out of devotion from your body itself. And anytime, sir, you come down to India, please give me the chance to get some times and blessings from you. And if possible, definitely allow me to take you to Vrindavan, Mathura, and we can just actually visit any of the temples there. And also, I will definitely recommend you and ask you to one time also visit NeemKaroliBaba temple. He was one of the greatest bhakt of Lord Hanuman, but he says always to chant Ram. In entire time, he just chant Ram, 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 Ram. And this itself shows, and he is not a person wearing a orange color, putting anything of fancy. He just wear a niche dhoti and on the top blanket. That's it. Nothing more. There are so many people in the entire world who has uh, came to him by giving the drugs. Like you take the drugs, you will be another world. And he just took the entire drugs and eaten it, and he said, "Yes, nothing happened to me." So I have seen people. I have actually not seen him, but I have felt because when I have gone to the ashram of Neem Karoli Baba and I have gone to Bake Bihari, I also have a Bal Gopal at my home. When a Bal Gopal want to eat something, that happens, I want to eat something, but I don't say to my mother or wherever I live. And the same thing is cooked on that particular evening. Why? Because they say Bal Gopal ko bhog lagana means there is a prasadam to be kept to the Bal Gopal, the small form of Lord Sri Krishna. And I was like, I was amazed. I was just seeing, this is you. I want to eat it. So you just prepared it for the prasadam, and then it will be coming to me also. So I am amazed the level of devotion you have, sir, and definitely in near future, there I am seeing you in India, and I will definitely be taking blessings from you. Sure, sir. Thank you for your great blessings to our YouTube channel and also to the world. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. I'm honored, and thank you for engaging me in service of Jyotish and our lords. And I will let you take me to Vrindavan. I will need a guide who speaks. You speak Hindi, right?
Yeah, definitely. मेरा हिंदी
Yes.
actually बहुत बढ़िया है, sir. My Hindi is very good because I am actually I have to learn English through English medium school, and then to conclude my basic mother language is Hindi.
Yeah, well, it's good to travel in India with someone who speaks Hindi. I
Yeah,
only speak English. I only know English.
not an issue, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're always welcome, most welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.